So I want the readers to, first of all, understand resilience, building from nothing. Nobody knows you, and then you're not gonna throw your whole life away because this is the life you have today. So being new somewhere, it doesn't mean your life has to be on the pause. No, it's going. So the book talks about resilience, freedom. It also talks about friendship, those quality friends we need to have alongside. So those are really three things that help the reader to get from the book.
Everybody, welcome back to Living the Next Chapter. If you don't get to see this, what I'm seeing right now, I'm seeing a guest with one of the coolest hats that I've ever had on a guest on my show. And Cedric is here. He's representing, and he's a great author. You're going to fall in love with him and his story. And he's here to help people who are transitioning from one culture, one place in the world to somewhere new, and all the things that come with that. It's like recreating yourself when you move to a new culture in a new country. And Cedric is on that journey right now, and he wants to help you if you find yourself in that situation. So, Cedric, welcome to the podcast. So glad to have you here.
Thank you for having me. Just before we start the conversation, I want to say muraho neza ku banyumva. Ndishimye muri Amerika, iki kiganiro na Devu muzagikunda. I was just saying hi. This is going to be a great conversation with Dev.
Excellent. Okay, Cedric, you got to explain. Where are you? Who are you speaking to? Where are you from originally? Can you give us some more insight?
Yes, I am from Rwanda, East Africa. That's a small country in East Africa, but it's small, but it's doing big things. So that's why I had to shout out to them in my local language. It's a big country now in terms of technology, healthcare. So yeah, shout out to them.
Excellent. And your family is there as well, right?
Yes, correct.
Excellent. Is your mother and is it some siblings, sisters? Is that right?
Yes. I have two brothers and sister, and my mom. So nice. And the big supporters of what I'm doing.
They have to miss you, right? Because you're not there. Where are you joining us?
Yes, I am in Michigan, Detroit, and it's been quite like 6 years since I was back in Rwanda. So it's been a long time, but I reach out to them, speak on the phone. So pretty good.
Okay, the weather difference between where you're from and where you are, and let's say February or January, it's a totally different world, right?
Oh yeah. I mean, this gets really, really cold and really, really hot. Like today, as of our conversation, we are at 96 degrees Fahrenheit. And we never reach those levels back home. We always into like mid 70s, really? 80s max. Yeah. So it's really different.
So it's hotter here than it is back home.
Yes, summers are really hot. So East Africa, we are a little bit of Rwanda. It's south of the equator, next to DRC, the biggest country with the forests and everything. So they supply really cool air to our central East Africa country.
There you go. Wow. You would never think coming to Detroit, Michigan would be warmer than from where you're from, but it's a very interesting place, Detroit. Yeah. Winter is not very kind for snow and all that. Have you ever had experience with snow and weather like that before coming to America?
No, it was my first time, and I would say the first week was marvelous, really miracle. I was, touching the snow, everything, but afterwards it was horrible, like, experiencing everything. From driving, jobs, it's tough.
The first time seeing snow must have been really fun for you, though.
Oh yeah, it's like Christmas. You know how kids playing in snow. Yeah, I was a grown man. Playing snow was quite something.
There you go. Excellent. Well, it's nice when it comes. It's even better when it leaves. When it's all gone and back to normal, I like that as well. In Canada, we get lots of snow, so. Yeah, I feel you.
Yeah. Yeah, you get more than we do, I believe.
Sometimes, yeah. It's not fun. If you live somewhere where there's no snow, stay there. Stay
Right.
there. It's great. It's great where you are. You won't like the snow. It's not that much fun. Excellent.
Yeah, that's true.
Excellent. Okay, so you come to the U.S. What brought you all the way across the globe to America? What was the thing, and why did you end up where you are?
Yes, I always start with Egypt, the ancient empire. They used to be so, big and tough, and every scholar, every big thinker went there to learn, get experience, go back to Europe and build their empires. So the US today is like the same thing. In my view, it's the same big empire, big country. For scholars like me or anybody who wants freedom to learn, freedom to do things, I think this is where to be now. When it comes to Detroit, it's a rebuilding city, just like an immigrant starting from nothing and then building yourself back up. That's why I think I end up in Detroit.
Okay. When you were growing up as a small boy back home, what did you know
Mm.
about the U.S. and America? What were you taught in school? And is it any different than what you were taught when you were young?
I think the US said themselves, like the Hollywood, the BETs, or these channels. So I had access to
Okay.
those growing up, plus a lot of history. So I know the founding fathers and every other thing. So I know it's a nation that went all out to build themselves, and then they welcomed everybody in the past. There were things we're doing. So I always wanted to be part of it in my lifetime.
Good. Okay. Yeah, you wonder how far like Hollywood travels and movies travel into what other cultures and kind of is it but is it realistic when you get here? Was it like what you saw on TV and on movies? Is it any different in real life?
Yes, very, very
Okay.
different. I mean, yeah, Hollywood is more like, the pixel, the
Yeah.
pictures, they don't show you how the snow feels like after being for a few weeks into it. With these hot summers, we don't really feel those moments. So it's like really different things. You don't feel even the prices, how things are priced in the movie. You don't just see people paying all this money. It's like, yeah, you just want to be there. But then when you get here, yeah, it's a different story. It's a different board game, I would say.
Excellent. And yeah, you said you miss your family and they're going to be listening to this, which is great. Any special messages to your family as they listen back home?
Yes, yeah, I'm doing well, and I know you support me. That's why I wake up every day to do what I love to do. And yeah, I know you're here with me in spiritual ways or by heart, and even if we're not here together physically, but yeah, I feel the courage, I feel the love, what players would say. Yeah,
Excellent. Yes, and to the family, thank you for loaning Cedric to me for a few minutes to have a conversation with him. I know they're going to miss you. I know they're probably thinking they hear your voice and go, "Oh, I miss that boy. I miss him." So that's good.
right, right.
That's good. Okay, so this show, Cedric, we talk to authors at the beginning of each
Mm.
episode to encourage another author. So I'm thinking of somebody who wants to share their story, but they don't know how to do this. You do know because you're an author, you've written a book, you've worked on projects, you've done the
Mm.
process. So you've learned something. So if I could bring an author in to meet you and to have a conversation with you together in Detroit, two of you go to a
Mm.
coffee shop and sit down together, what would you say to a new author just starting their journey that would encourage them to write and share their story? What would you tell them?
Yeah, I would say it doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be 100% complete. Mine was, I would say, a little bit everywhere, chapters everywhere. That's what the editor does, the publisher. So they like have the house full of professionals. So we just piece together our testimonies, the feelings, and then just have a manuscript, whatever pages you think are your manuscript. Somebody's gonna walk through with you, just build a book, a product, something, you're gonna be appreciative of. You don't even know how important the idea is itself, being a writer, having those moments, having a pen in the pad, writing down that's exactly
Yeah.
what you need. So the editor will do the rest.
Yeah. So rely on those people who know what they're doing to help you. Yeah. What about
Yes,
the
yes.
just the idea of starting? What was it for you that got you
Well,
started writing?
so what got me started writing was reading in the first
Okay.
place. I read different books, and then I also stumbled upon people who read and it changed their lives. And then it got me thinking, what if my books or my writing or my testimony can change somebody else's
Yeah.
mindset? So I'll give you an example. Frederick Douglass, he was a slave back in time. He didn't really, he was in a rough conditions. And then at some point, he stopped upon these books. Friends taught him to read, and then now he went into major books, understand the emotions. He understand he was slaves. There were constitutions, there were laws, and then he was like, "Oh man, actually, my people can, move from this step to
Yeah.
another." And I'll give you another example. Frankenstein, the
Mm-hmm.
monster,
Yeah. Yeah.
Frankenstein from the Mary
Yeah.
Shelley, the book. The monster himself, after he woke up, his creator Victor looked at him, and then he was, he felt so feared because of the looks of the
Yeah.
monster. He hated the monster from the beginning. So the monster moved through his few days of life, not knowing why people ran away from him until he realized it was his looks. People, I am hideous. That's why people run from me. And then he went to the isolation, and then he learned to read into this isolation. Then from reading, he understood he was really all alone. He understood the emotions. Yeah, he was like, "Oh man, I need companionship." That's really what reading does. So that's really what makes me write. Like, let me tell my story. Somebody will be in isolation, like I was during COVID. Read the book, but oh man, there was another person, and they survived, and
Yeah.
they not survived, but they went further through things.
Yeah. That's the one thing. I
Mm.
think there's so many stories that people have, Cedric. They don't know where to start, and they don't know who would ever read my book. Like, I'm not
Yes.
someone famous. I don't come from money. I'm not
Mm.
rich. Like, who would ever read what I want to say, right? And in
Right,
that,
right,
I'm
right.
like, there's so many great stories that have never been told. So the idea for
Mm.
this show is I want to encourage people have a story but they've never told it to hear and meet you and for you to inspire them to share their story. So I think that's kind
Yes.
of the goal for every episode is to encourage that
Mm.
listener who has a story to just start writing and get it out there. Like you said, find a great editor. That's helpful for you to craft your story.
Mm.
But it all starts with you as the writer and just starting to write, right?
Yes, that's correct,
Yeah.
Dave. Pretty
Yeah.
much.
Okay, so tell us now more about your book. Tell us what is the title of your book and what is the big idea for a reader around the book?
So the title of the book is Libaax, which is a Somali word for lion. I always believe lions. I love lions. But the subtitle of the book is "Grow Your Roots Where You Land."
Mm.
The book follows Ayaan. Ayaan, he was a Somali immigrant who found himself into the U.S., Detroit to be precise, and then how he navigates the new
Mm.
life. So the book follows him for the course of 5 years, I would say.
Wow. Okay, is there little elements of Cedric in this character at all? It sounds very familiar, Detroit, right? There's some things I hear common. Is there little pieces of you here?
Yeah. So I think I want to give him the lived experiences, not just me myself, but I use my friends' experiences. I want to give him a really strong character, and I went out of my way, of course, to act out what Ayaan would feel like being a DJ. I
Mm,
went to try DJing. I met friends through DJing, which is one of the best thing ever happened during the process of writing the book. I motorcycle. I don't know if you see behind me. There's a helmet.
yeah.
I do ride too. Iron ride to relax,
Nice.
free himself.
Whoa.
Skydiving. I also went to skydive to feel the breeze, shake off all of those, bad things that was happening to me to be like, yeah, this actually feels really relieving.
Yeah.
So yeah, I went out to be iron a little bit, like you said.
Well, skydiving does include a breeze, a very strong breeze, as you're falling to earth, right? You weren't nervous skydiving at all?
So I really love trying things. I feel if there were a superpower, that would be mine.
Really?
Yes, I did the tandem skydive,
Yeah.
which is like I think so far the easiest. I want to do the next step to it. So plummeting toward the earth, it's 120 miles for 9 seconds,
Whoa.
free fall. And then he parachutes for like 5 minutes, just, easy, looking the earth. Yeah, it's a really nice view.
I think I'd have my eyes shut the whole time and I'd be screaming the whole time. Cedric, I don't know if I could open my eyes. I'd be like, no. Right?
I think you're gonna love it there. It's gonna be one of those moments, you feel the adrenaline and
Really?
yeah, it's gonna be really lovely.
Wow. Okay. Well, I don't know if I'm going to follow your lead on this one. I'm a little bit nervous, but that's okay. That's a different perspective. Yeah. When you landed, did you
Yes.
land nice and smooth, or was it hard when you came to Earth?
No, no, no. I was the guy who I jumped out of the plane with. He was really
Yeah.
professional and also young, which was surprising. And immigrant. I think he was from Honduras. Yeah, which is also was like wow. Both two guys with an accent up there was really a nice thing to do. So he talked mo- he talked me through the drills. Yeah, it was really beautiful. We ended really smoothly. Yeah, well, I loved it.
Wow. So you took the plunge from a plane. You've also taken the plunge to be an author. Good job. Well done to get your stuff out there. So grow your roots where you land. See landing. See you did a parachute. You landed on the ground. I like this.
Yes.
So grow your roots where you land. It's a story, right? That's going to help anyone that finds himself in a new place, a
Mm.
new country, a new situation, right? Is that kind of your audience? Who else is this book for? What do you think?
I think this is also for besides the first generation immigrants, those who doesn't have any roadmap. This will be really helpful for them as you go back into chapters, read to feel okay, to feel safe, supported, and this also will give a perspective, different view from an American or even another person who just want to see how the first immigrants see the new world. How do we navigate? How do we go through those COVID days
Yeah.
where nobody calls you, checking up on you? How a person really goes through those days. So that's what book, yeah, it's about. So those people really love to read
Okay.
those stories.
Okay. So this is really for anyone that feels overwhelmed by their new surroundings, by being in a new city, a new country, a new culture, right? There's a lot to learn, right? When you come to America, do you find that you have to set aside who you are and where you're from and your traditions and your culture to fit into American culture? Or do you still keep who you are even though you're in a new country? Like how do you balance that part of your life?
Yes. So good question, by the way. Loving being Americanized is, one thing. It's the thing we see on TV. Be like, yeah, I really want to be this, but when you hear it's different, you're not gonna lose yourself. You've been out there for 20 something years. So that's like who you really are. You're not gonna drop the accent
Yeah,
the next day.
right.
Love new food like your food. So you're always gonna keep who you are. But now the difference is going to be the
Yeah.
integrating the new culture into the new culture, and that's where the DJing part of the Ayaan comes in, because he didn't just play techno, the Detroit sound.
Mm,
He had to brand in his home sound to bring this
yeah.
new flavor to music, and people noticed it because it was now different. So it was like, yeah, now we see this guy, we see Ian.
See, I've always believed, Cedric, that when we have new people come to our country, whether I'm in Canada, here in Canada, or you in America, when immigrants come to a country, it's not always about you coming and becoming like us, but you bring culture to our country and make our country better because you have all of your background, all of your traditions and your history. When you come here, you make the country better, right? And that's why I love when people come to this country. But I think the one thing that would be difficult, because I've never done this, so you're the expert here, but I would be trying, if I moved to your country where you're from, I would be looking for another Canadian for me to hang around with, to talk about Canadian stuff and eat Canadian food and do Canadian holidays and, right, somebody from home. And the chances of me coming across somebody in your country would be very slim, maybe, to find another Canadian who's just like me. And I think that would make
Right.
me feel really lonely, not to have somebody who's like me from home, who understands my food, my culture, my family. I would be really quite lonely in that. Has that kind of been your experience when you first got here?
Yes, I mean, I got here at the end of 2019, and COVID
Wow.
happened
Yeah.
2020. So I was like in the middle of everything. So now I had to. There's another part of the book, friendship. How does friendship really help you get out of this loneliness? Like you said, you're out there and nobody knows you. Nobody's gonna call you. It is up to you to have in one person, two people, and quality friends, which is also important. People who really know your situation, who know you don't have food because you don't go to a job. You just got here. And yeah, I think those lonely moments, those
Yeah.
isolation, especially for COVID, you're locked up
Yeah.
somewhere. So friendship is really, really important. And Ayaan had a friend, Ahmed, and Mariah from Honduras. So they were meeting through Zoom, and then they would send him food. So he got really a supportive team from outside. But yes, friendship is really something that gets us from those tough moments.
Yeah. When you came to America, how long did it take you to start finding people? I mean, you have COVID, I understand, but having friends within your community, how long did it take you to find some new friendships?
Well, I'm a little social person, I would say. So I had two, three friends, I would say, the first
Good.
week. And but those three friends, like one was the actual friend, the one you call, be like, I mean, this is tough. Can I get $100? And be
Yeah.
like, yeah, I got you, yeah.
That's good.
Mhm.
What about, okay, I'm really curious about food. Like you come to Detroit, do they have any type of food that would be similar to food from home? Like you had to completely change your diet? Like where do you find food that reminds you of home?
Yeah, oh yeah, there's a small community here of
Hmm.
Burundians. They actually have one of the best restaurants today, which I think if you happen to close over, yeah, I'll
You
be
take
happy
me
to
out
show
for
you
dinner?
the.
I'd go for dinner. You teach
Yeah,
me
oh
good
man,
food, right? Okay.
you're gonna love it. They have one of the best. Yes, so they actually during the time used to cook and then invite us to eat at their house. Yeah, which was also really nice. I also met through other people
Yeah.
into their home because there was like a gathering every once in a while. So yeah, it was really beautiful. But back to your question, we have African restaurants around.
Good.
So yeah, I'm not really into American food yet. Yeah, but I love it. So I love to go to African restaurants, to African market, and then try mac and cheese
Mag-
once in a while.
there you go. Now you're in America now. Yeah. Up here we
Yeah.
call mac and cheese in Canada. We call it craft dinner. So we call it a
Crap.
different thing. Same thing, same box. Canada's craft
Yes.
dinner, your mac and cheese. So there you go. If you came to
Mm.
Canada, totally different name. There you go.
Yeah.
That's good.
Um,
Okay. All right. So you come to America. I love for people to know too. You are a very smart guy. On top of being an author and all this, tell
right.
everybody what you do as well, because I find this fascinating. Cedric, tell us about your
Mm.
background and what you do as a job here in America.
Right. So before moving to the States, I was an engineer doing construction. And once I got here, I got involved into a contracting firm. So I drive around pretty much every day, testing concrete, asphalt, foundations to make sure the contractor is doing what the clients, want. So I'm like the concrete police. So make sure, everything is understood.
Do they give you a badge? I'm the police. No,
No,
no
no,
badge.
yeah, they know my truck. So once I'm there, they're like, yeah, let's make sure this is good for
There you go.
for you to I hope.
Okay. All right. I want to see. Yeah, if you had a badge or not. That's good. So
Yeah.
did you come here and the job was waiting for you then? Didn't that's part of you?
No, no, no,
Okay.
no, no, no. Yeah, I came just as a student.
Okay.
I'm still in school. Yeah, I'm now doing concrete technology.
Okay.
I believe a concrete, where there it's a second most used material worldwide
Hmm.
after water, drinking water.
Yeah. Really?
So I say yes. Actually, in the US, it's a $600 billion industry. Yeah,
Wow.
so I was like, yeah, I have to be part of this. And again, we are building the country. We want to be part of this. We're not just consuming. Like I said, I'm the concrete police. and make sure who is constructing things. They make it better for the users. The users is the Americans, is the immigrants. So
Hmm.
we're here to build things. We're not here to just consume.
Okay.
Ultimately.
All right. So for Grow Your Roots Where You Land, kind of what is your big hope for the book, for the readers? What do you hope that a reader's going to get by reading your book?
So I want the readers to, first of all, understand
Yeah.
resilience, building from nothing.
Mm.
Nobody knows you, and then you're not gonna throw your whole life away because this is the life you have today. So being new somewhere, it doesn't mean your life has to be on the pause. No, it's going. So the book talks about resilience, freedom. It also talks about friendship, those quality friends we need to have alongside.
Mm.
So those are really three things that help the reader to get from the book.
Okay. All right. And explain more about the lion part as well as how this all
Well,
fits in, because I want to make sure we had that all understood too as readers.
yeah, so I think the lion part is the the motorcycle,
Okay.
Libaax. So along the way, anyways, why did I choose a Somali guy when I'm from Rwanda? It's like, both East, but different
Hmm.
countries. I wanted to have a guy who has really rough background, ruthless, I would say. His father was a pirate
Mm.
who died at the sea. So now the guy with this background, rough, tough times, moving him to a new life where nobody knows him, nobody's gonna care for him, and the guy building himself up. So and the Reebok are part the lion, of course. He must have the heart of a lion. That's where the theme of a lion comes from. He needs to represent. He needs to be the lions. He has to be. And then I also hint on the masculinity and vulnerability.
Mm.
The guy with such a tough background. He's went through all of this. Now he's in a new land. Happens to love this girl who doesn't love him back. And then the
Mm.
guy, he's like almost dying to the core. It's like, how can you have went through all of this and then you see so emotional? So I also wanted to hint on that, be like, whatever the background is, people see how these feelings. And so that's the Libaksa part of it. And then his motorcycle was like his Libaksa and riding around. Yeah, but the lion part was giving him such a aggressive background and the
Okay.
heart. Yeah.
All right. Does your character have to deal with people who don't accept him in his new country, in his new setting?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. I mean, he like his first job, of course, from the language, people have a lingo they use. So the more you are outside of the lingo,
Mm.
the more outside you look, the more not understood you are. So he faces those times, and which of course pushes him into isolation. How am I gonna adapt? Who am I really? Those are really things that not just Ayaan, but every immigrant goes
Yeah.
through. Yes, I wanted to also tap on that a little bit.
Right. Because when you leave your home country, where you were born, where you grew up as a little boy, you belong there. Like you know the streets, you know the culture, you just know everything about where you're from. When you go to a
Yes,
new culture in a new country, it takes a while for you to feel like you belong there. You feel like a visitor when you first get here until you kind of get a place, find a job, go to school, whatever it is for you. You always just feel like you're not from here, right? And it takes a while
that's
to
correct.
find a place where you feel like this is your new home. So,
Right,
like
right,
for you,
right.
how long did it take you to feel like Detroit, Michigan was your new home? Like, do you feel that now? Or are you like, can you tell us more?
Right, right. I think I'm gonna start with one of the things. The first time I went to Kroger,
Yeah.
just looking into the aisle, oh man,
Grocery
I didn't
store?
really know
Yeah.
what to pick. Oh yeah, oh I'm like, man. So we don't have kind of those grocery stores back
Yeah, yeah.
home. Even having one brand, just one brand,
Yeah.
now having one product, multiple brands, we don't have those kind of things. So those things are like, be like, oh man, they put you into the moment, be like, man, am I really gonna eat one of these until I know which one I'm gonna love, or just gonna leave Kroger with just a bread and pickles? Well, that's all I know. Like, yeah, but though I felt home in Detroit, I would say around like fourth year, fifth year,
Yeah.
with different friends across different journey of life, DJs, people I go to school with, co-workers, and people that speaks my language. So we now have a community today.
So if I'm new to a new country, trying to find this, make this my home, your
Right.
book is going to be a nice thing to have when I'm feeling lonely or feeling disconnected. I miss my family. I miss my home. I can pull out your book and this is going to help me, right? As a reader?
Yes. The first is you're gonna open up to it's going to be the isolation and the
Okay.
loneliness you're going to
Yeah.
feel. Yeah, that's part of the book, and it's gonna show you like Ayaan, he went out, tried DJing, sing. Then if you're in your country, what else do you love? You don't have to be a DJ or ride a motorcycle. You might want to play soccer,
Yeah.
play basketball. Yeah, so it's gonna get you, yeah, maybe venture out a little bit, and then you're gonna have to keep your culture as Ian kept his, so people notice him. He just brands both cultures, so you're not gonna have to like wait until you're so Americanized to
Yeah.
to start venturing out. Just go as you are, brand your culture with whatever you know of the new culture. You're gonna be fine.
Okay. What haven't you tried yet in Detroit that you want to try? Is it like going to a big sporting event, watching baseball or hockey, or is there something you haven't done yet that you would love to do now that you live there?
Uh-huh. I think I want to drive a NASCAR.
Whoa. Really?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
And I should do it at least before this summer ends because I flew a single engine plane 2 times. I flew an
Of
R-22
course you
small
have.
helicopter. I went through the hot air balloon. So, yeah, I love trying things. So my next big thing is a NASCAR. Try to do 170 miles an hour on the course.
You like going fast, whether it's falling from a plane or driving fast. You like speed, don't you?
I think a lot of anything that makes you feel alive, free, and again, these are the things that makes you feel, you're part of this culture because we don't have those things back
Right.
home. Easy to access. So now, if I can access them today, it gives me the confidence to go outside, and feel good about myself as well.
Okay, but I do want you to add going to an ice hockey game to the list. You
Yes,
got to watch ice hockey. I'm in
exactly.
Canada, Cedric, so I got to
Uh-huh.
promote hockey. Okay, so you got to go see a hockey game.
Have
It is
to.
so fast, and those guys are so
Uh-huh.
talented. You got to go. Okay, that's one of the things you got to
And I
put on
think,
your list.
yeah. And you have a big team here
Oh, you
in
do.
Detroit.
Yeah, you got a great team.
Ah, yeah, have to go see those
Okay,
guys.
so put that on the list. Add that to your list. Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
absolutely. Yeah, Little Caesars. Yeah, yeah.
I love it.
Have to
I love
go.
it. Good. Okay, so Cedric, where do we send people to communicate with you, connect with you, know more about the book? You have a website. Where do you want to send people?
Yes, I have a website. It's at cedricmuhikira.com. So I post blogs there
Okay.
weekly, really beautiful things as well. So pictures of me flying planes and balloons, riding a boat. So I have all these things to like motivate people like me, immigrants, be like, yeah, actually, if this guy can do it, why can't I? Why should I stay to this house, a basement?
Right.
Let me go out things. And then I'm also on IG. My name there is I am the captain now.
I like it. I like it. I'm looking at
Yeah.
your picture of you falling through the sky, and
Uh-huh.
I'm so glad you're strapped to that person. I would be checking those straps every second, make sure they're still attached, right? But yeah,
Yes.
it looks like you have a lot of fun there. That's amazing,
Oh
Cedric.
yeah. Yeah, that's true. It's really lovely to try things.
Wow. Well, there you go. You took the leap. That's exciting. I love that you love adventure. You love embracing your new culture where you are, and that you take time to write a book to help people who are finding themselves somewhere new and feeling alone, feeling disconnected. And I love that your book is going to help them. So it's a
Yes.
great idea, Cedric, for a book, and a great story that you're telling. You're still telling the story, though. The story's not
Yes. Yeah.
over. There's a lot more to tell, right?
Oh, yes, yes. And again, Dave, this is a really beautiful platform for us. Nobody will know about the Libaax and my story and my other friends' stories in the book. So, having you, spreading the word, it's a really wonderful thing.
Well, you're a great guest, Cedric. I encourage you to do more and more podcasts as a guest. You're fun to talk to. You have a great smile. You get a great spirit. You're a very nice person to have on the show, Cedric. I'm really happy to have you here.
Oh, beautiful.
Excellent. Everyone listening, as you hear Cedric talk about this book, you got to go grab a copy. And if you've ever felt lonely, if you ever found yourself in a new position, a new place, and you're looking for something that will keep you company, then definitely grab Cedric's book. I think you're going to love it. And also share it with somebody else as well. And this will keep them company and give them something to enjoy on those lonely nights when you miss home. This would be a great book for you, Cedric. Thank you so much for being a part of my show.
Well, thank you very much. I really enjoyed being here.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Cedric.
Thank you.
Hey, thanks for listening to the podcast. Glad to have you here. I just want to let you know that you can always find out what we're doing live in the moment by going to our YouTube channel. Head over to livingthenextchapter.com. There'll be a link right there. Head over to our YouTube channel. Make sure you like, subscribe, do all the things that all the YouTubers love to say. And in our YouTube channel, a couple things. You're going to get advanced listens. You're going to get the episodes that we're working on in real time. So we record and post daily on our YouTube channel. I'd love for you to give us a follow over there. As well, we're making playlists. We have over 500 episodes. So finding the right episode for you, we're trying to group things into playlists. So if you like children's books, if you like business, you like historical fiction, we're grouping our authors together to make it a little easier for you to find your favorite next author. So head over to livingthenextchapter.com. And again, I'd love to hear from you. Hearing from the listeners of the show is great. And I just want to say thank you for being a part of the podcast family. And I look forward to having you back for the next episode. Thank you for being here. I really appreciate your time and your listen. Take care.